Hi everyone, I'm Eric Vos. I'm the Executive Director of Crosse Community Theatre, and I'm here with a behind the curtain about our show, Silent Sky. Silent Sky by Lauren Gunderson tells the true story of Henrietta Swan Leavitt, an astronomer whose discoveries helped humanity find their place in the universe. In the early 1900s, Henrietta moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts to work at the Harvard College Observatory. But she wasn't hired as an astronomer. She was hired as what was called a computer, someone who analyzed astronomical data and performed the calculations in the back end. At the time, women weren't allowed to operate telescopes or do their own research. Instead, they were just expected to quietly process the data collected by the men. But the work that they did would change science forever. Now, Henrietta did not work alone. The play introduces us to several real historical figures who helped shape modern astronomy. Williamina Fleming, portrayed in the play as a strong leader, was a Scottish immigrant who started as a housekeeper for the observatory director before becoming a groundbreaking astronomer who catalogued thousands of stars. There's also Annie Jump Cannon, another colleague who developed star classification system still used by astronomers today, the system that categorizes stars as O, B, A, F, G, K, and M. And if you come to the play, you can learn a little acronym that will help you know what those letters stand for. Together, these women were known as the Harvard Computers. They laid the foundation for much of what we know about stars today, yet for years their contributions were just overlooked. The play also introduces Margaret Leavitt, who's Henrietta's sister, and she represents the societal expectations placed on women at the time. Through her, we see the tension between traditional life paths and the pursuit of passion and discovery. Henrietta's greatest discovery came from studying the Cepheid variable stars, the stars that pulse in brightness over time. She discovers that the speed of that pulse directly relates to how bright the star actually is. This meant astronomers could finally calculate the distances across space with real accuracy. The discovery became known as Leavitt's Law. Later astronomers, including Edwin Hubble, used her work to prove that the universe extended far beyond our own galaxy. Because of her discovery, humanity realized that the Milky Way was just one among millions of other galaxies. It's not an exaggeration to say her work helped redefine our place in the universe. What makes the story especially powerful is that it connects directly to what is happening today. In 2026, NASA launched the Artemis II mission, the first crewed mission to travel around the moon since the Apollo era. The mission is part of a long-term effort to return humans to the moon and eventually travel to Mars. Just like in Henrietta's time, these missions depend on thousands of people whose names we'll probably never know. Scientists, engineers, programmers, and researchers who are all working behind the scenes. Much like the Harvard Computers, their work may not always be visible, but it makes the exploration possible. Henrietta helped us to understand how big the universe is, and today's scientists are helping us decide where we'll go next in that universe. At its heart, Silent Sky is about curiosity, opportunity, and the importance of giving people the chance to discover what they're capable of. The idea connects directly to the mission of Crosse Community Theatre. See, community theater is built on the same idea that drove Henrietta and her colleagues, that talent exists everywhere. And when people are given the opportunity to learn and participate, incredible things can happen. At LCT, we see this every day. We see it on stage, we see it backstage, we see students discovering their confidence, volunteers learning new skills, and artists finding their creative voice. Like the Harvard Computers, many of these people who make theater possible do work behind the scenes. Their names might not always be the most visible, but their impact is still enormous. And this is why we continue to invest in education programs, performance opportunities, and spaces where creativity can grow. Because discovery doesn't just happen in science, it can happen in the arts too. Henrietta Leavitt never became famous in her lifetime, but her work changed how humanity sees the universe. It's a reminder that sometimes the people who change the world are not always the loudest voices. Sometimes they are simply the ones who keep asking questions, who keep learning, and who keep reaching for the stars. Hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the history involved behind the play Silent Sky, and we hope to see you at the play sometime this weekend or next.